What I'm reminding you savers out there of is this. Assuming you've got all of your money invested in the stock market or even bonds and growth mutual funds, listen closely. There is no way to guarantee that you will not run out of money. You will not have a way to safely spend this money without some form of guaranteed investment, which is why if you are retired, nearing retirement, maybe you've recently sold a business or some land, or here's another option, maybe you've downsized a home and have money to invest or received an inheritance. Regardless, if you're looking for help with your money but afraid of getting suckered into something that is not in your best interest, I've created 5 key questions that one must ask any advisor, yes, including yours truly, as to what they are investing in and how these investments are going to benefit them. So by the way, I created a guide that is available when I go over this that's a download at TonyWalkerFinancial.com. So again, if you'd like to download this questions, this page I've put together is available at TonyWalkerFinancial.com. All you got to do is click on the download section. So let's see the 5 key questions you've got to ask an advisor so you won't be suckered. First of all, you got to ask about the fees. Now folks, I know it's hard sometimes to understand how to find these fees. This is why you have to ask them. Incidentally, if you download this little one-pager I've created, it's kind of neat the way I've designed this, because what you can do is ask the advisor to fill it out, put this down, and then them sign off on it and date it so it's in their handwriting. And if an advisor is not willing to fill it out, more than likely they're not probably a fiduciary, because a fiduciary, like ourselves, is required by law to disclose all fees and commissions. So that's number 1. Number 2, I love this. I always like to ask people, and even when we describe our process to people, what is the worst case scenario of this investment? Let's take the stock market, for instance. If you invest in the stock market, we covered this earlier in Van Wagner's Emerging Growth Fund. Well, it was up in the 43,000 range at one time. Well, it dropped all the way to 3,300. Now, not to say all stock market or funds are going to drop that much, but the point is you're seeing worst case scenario. Many of you are running out and buying these bonus annuities. On the surface, bonus annuities can be helpful, but what you have to ask somebody is the worst case scenario of that annuity. All right? Number 3, access. Boy, I love this. In retirement planning, folks, many of you are not setting yourself up to have access to your money. In fact, a day doesn't go by. Somebody calls me up and they say, Tony, I got $20,000 in the bank or $30,000 in the bank. Can you invest that for me? Well, we could, but the problem with that is we could be creating additional risk. We can't necessarily slap it in an annuity. Sometimes it's best to leave that money just in cash. Why? Because we have to have access to some of our money. And again, a fiduciary is going to make sure, especially if you have money less than $50,000, we always say this, it's probably best to make sure you leave that in a position where it has total access. And again, the only way you're going to know this if you're getting ready to buy a product is ask the advisor how much access you'll have. The key question number 4 is time frame. So what we mean by that, let's take an annuity. We do a lot of annuities, but the annuities we offer have different time frames. Some of them have 3-year, 4-year, 5-year, 7-year, 10-year. There's even annuities out there with 15 and 16-year time frames. Bonds, some bonds don't have maturity dates until 2044 or 2050. I mean, those are the time frames. So you have to understand the time frame because that goes back to access. Let's say you had a time frame of 10 years and you think you might need this money in 3 or 4 years. Well, that's going to be a problem because that's going to probably create some massive surrender charges to get out of something within a limited time frame. So be very careful on that. The next option is, are there any gotchas?
Thanks for watching. We hope you enjoyed that video. If you'd like, check out these other clips and be sure to hit that like button and that subscribe button for more videos.